What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another edition of Generational Sports. Josh, how are we doing on this fine Monday night?
I'm doing pretty good. I think, probably the best betting weekend of my life. I don't think it's ever gone as smoothly as it did this weekend. I thought it'd carry over today. Did a nice little parlay with the Bulls and the Pats, both money line. Felt good about it. And now, about 45 minutes after I placed the bet, Demar's out with COVID protocols.
Josh, you
Stupid.
know what we call that, right?
What?
That's a tough life out here. It
It's
really,
tough.
truly is.
Hey, Bull's still gonna pull it off though. I believe him. But other
And
than
then
that,
what was
it's
that second team you had?
New England, man. I
Okay.
mean, it's the same reason I took Bama this weekend. You're telling me I could have got Nick Saban plus points. You're telling me I get Bill Belichick right now on fire with points
Did you
with
see the
bad
weather?
weather.
You see the weather?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm trusting the run game, man.
I
I'm trusting
believe,
the run game.
I believe I saw a constant 26 mile per hour wind with the wind gusts up to 48.
I love that. I love that for New England. I love it.
I can't even imagine attempting to play football on that.
No, no. But how are you, Connie? How are you?
Oh, today was my official last day of classes. So we're chilling on that end. I mean, I still got finals, but like listen, I'm a communication student, so like, our finals aren't actually finals. We just, post a video at the end of the year and call it a final. So that's our version of finals. So big fan of that. And yeah, I get the next actually I get the rest of the week off technically. And I think I just got finals next week, you know what I mean?
All
Oh, we
right.
got CJ over there in the color cast. Listen, CJ, you're gonna be my test dummy as well. Because I need to know if you can hear Josh speak when he does. Because obviously, you know, I'm trying to finesse the system right now. But we'll figure it out. And people, if you don't know, we're over on Colorcast as well. We're doing some big things with Colorcast. So if you haven't figured it out, listen, go download the app. You can follow all of us. All of us got the USN at the end of our names and all that fancy business over there. So make sure you check us out over on the Colorcast, and it's a great time. Audio. You can follow along with the games. If you think that we're ugly, which even though me and Josh, wonderful looking men, uh, you can just listen to us instead of having to see us as well. So make sure you check it out. But Josh, what do you say we get into everything, huh?
Let's do it.
So start off with a little UFC. Of course, we had the Font Aldo recap, and then getting a little 269 preview. But we started off, like I said, with Font versus Aldo. And Josh, I did have the fight on. I had it in the corner of my eye. I wasn't, totally locked into it, but I saw enough of it. And easy victory for Aldo in my eyes.
I agree. I thought Font did exactly what he was supposed to do, though. Aldo's a guy you can't really let control the fight because he'll just piece you up. He'll wait for his opportunities and just control the whole fight. So Font, he went at him aggressively. He walked him down right from the start, was throwing quick punches, wasn't even giving him time to really react. But Aldo just kind of was patient. I think I for sure probably give Font the first round, if any round, even though he got knocked down at the very end of it. But after that, Aldo just took control. Even had ground control on him a couple times. Kept knocking him down. Was just landing nice counters. But Font did what he had to do. It was a fight he was going to lose anyway. Just the way Aldo's been fighting, it was a tough spot for him. I said before Aldo's last fight that he was washed, so this time I had to bet on him because I couldn't be wrong again. So I doubled down on it, and yeah, Aldo got it done. I think he was fifth, and Font was fourth in the rankings right now. So Aldo's going to get a nice little jump and stay in title contention for right now.
Yeah, it was. Going into it, I thought it was going to be a lot more back and forth. I guess me being the casual I am, because I listen to other people and I just go along with what they say. So that's what I thought would happen. But I don't know. Like you said, the first round, yeah, I can see that. But everything else, it seemed like Aldo, and that was a big thing after the fight as well that people were saying is that it looked like he got his power back, and
Mhm.
obviously can't hurt to have some power in the UFC, Josh.
And then when his corner was doing a really nice job too, because he's known for throwing a lot of leg kicks, but he didn't do it for the first couple rounds. And when he started to, Font didn't want to go in on him anymore. He was getting hurt by those. So props to his corner for reminding him, because they said that before the fight he was just focusing on boxing for Font, so he didn't really train those leg kicks. But when he started throwing them, the whole fight changed.
Yes, it did. And like I said, I had it on in the background. I didn't pay too much attention to it. So I believe everything Josh says. But I don't know why I also believe Josh, because he's a smart man, guys. I believe the man. No need to, dig deep into it. But Josh, what we are going to dig deep into is our UFC 269 preview. And of course, we got to give our predictions, because that's what the people need from us. They need to know what we think. So Josh, why don't you start it off, obviously, because you know everything. Matt, what is going on? Come on, Pats stay at the 1 seed tonight. Of course they do. Have you seen the weather? Bills don't even know what running the ball looks like. 26-mile-an-hour winds, 48-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Going to be a little snow, some rain probably. It's wonderful conditions for a Patriot W. In fact, I even went on over to Underdog Fantasy, and I used code Gen Z when I signed up originally to double my first deposit up to $100, of course. And I took, let's see, Josh Allen to throw an interception. The wind, I think
JC gonna get his. JC's gonna get his.
I took Damian Harris's over on his rush yards. I believe it's only at like 56.5. Hell no. That's at least 90 right there. I think I took Hunter Henry's over. Listen, I think Mac is going to throw it to the tight end a lot. And Hunter Henry's over was only 24.5 yards.
Oh, that's easy.
I also took Mac Jones's under, which was at 189. So I'm scared. But these conditions, I just don't see Mac throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah, I don't either. I think those are all good picks.
And I think I did one more. I'm going to find it right now. Let me go on over to the Underdog app. I'm going to tell the people live what I did. And I also took, Kendrick Bourne plus 1.5 receiving yards against Emmanuel Sanders.
And I know the odds on those are beautiful too. The odds are beautiful.
Kendrick Bourne has sneakily become number one wide receiver over there in Patriot land. So against Emmanuel Sanders, who hasn't cracked, I think, like 25 yards in his last, 3 games, I'm feeling good, Josh. I think this is a winner.
I like it. I like it a lot, man. But yeah, UFC 269. Dana White always goes all out for these end of the year pay-per-views. And this one's going to be just like that. Just some of the fighters that'll be in the prelims and, the early main cards and all that. Tai Tuivasa, the last time we saw him, did something that 100% of the viewers loved, which was knock Greg Hardy out. Everybody loved that. So excited to see him fight again.
I'm a big fan of that.
Oh, yeah. Dominique Cruz makes his return against Pedro Munoz, who I picked over Jose Aldo. So that's going to be a very good fight in the prelim. Dan Ige versus Josh Emmett, another really good fight. And then in the main card, I think we're only going to do one prediction, just because I think we both agree Sean O'Malley and Amanda Nunes, we're going to pick both them to win. Cody Garbrandt.
I'll never pick against Amanda Nunes in my life.
Yeah, I think the Cody Garbrandt fight, I think I'm probably going to go Cody in that fight. And then I can't remember what the other main card fight is, but the only real prediction we have to make is the title fight, which is Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. I'm still not 100% sure who I'm going to take here. I mean, Dustin Poirier is just killing everyone he's been crossing for the past couple of years. But I mean, Charles Oliveira is the champ, and we know he can take those punches. We saw him take it from Michael Chandler last time. So I think I'm gonna go with the champ. I think Oliveira is underrated. He's the underdog going into this fight, even though he is the champion. But Poirier is going to give him a fight.
Weird. I feel like that's a lot less rare in UFC than like every other sport. I can't find a lot of sports where the person who was literally a champion is the one that's the underdog, and I've seen it multiple times. Like when Ngannou fought Stipe. Wasn't Stipe the underdog?
Yeah.
It's weird, very weird to me, but
Yeah, but yeah, I think most of that is just because they don't fight as often as the contenders, because the contenders have to get those wins, so they're normally impressive, and they're like, wow, yeah, that guy's going to be the champ, and then you just kind of forget how good the champ is because they had to do the same thing, and they did finish off the champ. So, Yeah, I'm going to go with Oliveira. I think he's very underrated. I think people think this division is stacked, so it's easy to be like Oliveira is not even the best fighter in the division, but he's the best right now. He's a champion, so I'm gonna give him his props, and I'm gonna ride with him in this one.
You know, he made an excellent point. This man Dustin has been killing everybody. You know, he's not the current champ though. Like, well, I was about to attempt to say the other dude's name, Charles. I'm gonna call him Charles. You know, me and him are a first name basis over here. But you know what? I'm gonna be. Why not? Why not, Dustin? It's his time. Why not? I'll go with Dustin. He's been bodying people out here, so I don't see why the man can't catch a fat W. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, I guess we move on, Josh. We move on once again, and we're gonna go. We're gonna split from the norm here, people. Because what do? We don't talk about college football. I've said it many times. I'm not a college football fan, but you know it's the playoff time, so you got to talk about college at that point. Am I right? So, with that being said, a nice little college football playoff prediction. I believe the seeding is Alabama 1, Michigan is number 2. Number 3, we have Georgia, it is, and then number 4, Cincinnati. So obviously that means Alabama versus Cincinnati, and then Michigan and Georgia. And Josh, I think we're going to have a repeat of the SEC championship game. I really do. I hope not. I hope not, because that's my thing. I know that everybody says that, oh, there's not really parity in any of the sports, blah, blah, blah. You look at the NFL, the Patriots were good for 20 years, and you look at this sport, that team was good for blah, 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 the Warriors, and there's no parity. Zero in college football. There's 3 teams every year that's going to win. It's like Alabama, Clemson, but they had an off year this year. I mean, I guess that would happen when you lose Trevor Lawrence. And then, you know, you look at, and then just pick another SEC team.
Ohio State's always good too. They find a way in there in years. I mean, yeah, it's the same teams. That's why I kind of like this year. It's not really, I mean, Michigan is a team that's usually top tier as well, but finally they allowed Cincinnati to get in the playoffs, and I love it. I mean, last year they had just as good a chance, but, you know, I think they dropped a game later that cost them their chance at it, but they're here now, only undefeated team out of the 4. So I think it's going to be not an interesting game between Bama and Cincinnati. I think Bama kills them. I think they're going to absolutely destroy them. Cincinnati's very good, though. They have a very solid defense. A very smart quarterback, Desmond Ridder. He's kind of like a veteran in college terms. So I think he's gonna, you know, give them fits. But I think Bryce Young showed. I mean, he locked up the Heisman in the SEC championship game. So he's gonna keep putting on a show, and I think they're gonna kill him. I know not having Mechie because he tore his ACL. That really sucks because he was having a monster game too. But yeah, I mean, they still got Jameson Williams, who it seems like he's the fastest man on the planet the way he looked Saturday. So they're going to take care of that one. So I'm going to take Bama to win that. And I think I'm going to roll with Michigan, honestly. I think they're on fire right now.
Okay.
I think after beating Ohio State, handling Iowa, I think they're feeling really good right now. And I just don't trust Georgia's offense at all. They can get a run game going, but their quarterback – I think it's Stetson something. I don't know his name, but he's not that good. And they never have had to face teams that are really competitive in the fourth quarter, like when it's an actual ball game where they're trailing. And we saw it last weekend. I mean, they couldn't handle it. They just couldn't handle it. Obviously, that defense is really good, but I think Michigan's offense is obviously not as good as Alabama's, but I do think they're good enough to put up enough points to make it a ball game, and I think it's going to come down to Georgia in the same situation, trying to claw back late, and I don't think their offense can get it done through the air. I think if they can keep it close with the ground game and not have to throw long balls and have to make plays like that, they have the weapons to do it, but I don't know if the quarterback's good enough to do it. So I think I'm going to roll with Michigan. I don't think we're going to have an SEC national championship. Going Michigan and Bama.
See, that would make me incredibly happy, right? But it always just seems that the SEC is so much better than everybody else. And obviously we've seen that with Alabama having their dominance for however long they've had it. But like you said, I think Alabama is going to beat Cincinnati. You know, and it's weird. It's interesting too, though, because like I said, just watching ESPN and everything as I always do, because I mean, what else am I going to do with my life? Um, a lot of them are saying it's not as far fetched for every team to lose in this college football playoff, which is more interesting. Like we just said, there's not really been much parity, but I guess in this playoff situation, it seems like there is. So, do I give Cincinnati? I give Michigan a higher chance of beating Georgia than I give Cincinnati to beat Alabama. But I mean, I guess every team has a chance in this, and we have seen it this year. There's been games at Alabama,
lost to Texas A&M. I mean,
Texas A&M. They should have lost to Auburn.
Yeah, yeah.
So they obviously haven't been the juggernaut that they've been all these past years before.
They're very young. They lost a lot in this draft. I mean, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris, Mac Jones, their starting left tackle, Barrymore. I mean, a bunch of defenders. It's crazy.
I think they had 5 first-round picks.
And they got 2 more. I mean, it seems like they always have 2 first-round receivers, a first-round quarterback. They always have it, but right now they're just – I mean, Bryce Young's a freshman. I'm pretty sure that Jameson Williams is only a sophomore. So, I mean, they're a very young team, but it's still Nick Saban. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's still Nick Saban running that team.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be an SEC championship rematch, but I would love it if, I would love a Cincinnati-Michigan one. I mean, I just think
that would be so good.
It would be so fun. Good. I mean, it's just different teams, and it's finally a different thing than what it has been in the past, but it's just a hard thing to see if it actually happens. Oh, you know what? Listen, Matt. I can't even say that name, bro. Come on. Mick Namara? What's that? Who's that?
Namora? I don't know who that is.
I don't know. You know what? Listen, don't flame me. I don't watch college football, so I don't want to hear nothing about it. He said he's going to have to make plays against UGA. Oh, he's the Michigan quarterback. Okay, there we go. See? People in the ColorCast comments saving the day for the people. Bulldogs going to choke again. Bama versus Michigan.
I think that'd be a much better game, too. Much better. I think Michigan's defense is better built to keep up with Alabama. I know Georgia has a corner that's probably going top 5 this year, but it doesn't matter how good he is. Jameson Williams.
I was going to say, don't Michigan have a pass rusher that's like projected the first pick in the draft?
Yeah, he's you. Camera. It's like, I don't know. I can't say his name. It's one of those weird ones. I'm pretty sure there's like an X in it, but yeah, he's really good. He's really good.
It's number 97. Sure, Matt. Why not?
But Georgia's got a guy who.
That's the thing too. Like we talked about, everybody talked about Georgia's defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody watch the highlights of the Alabama game, or just watch it in general?
Yeah,
they weren't close to him.
No, the O-line compared to what they did against Auburn, that offensive line played insane. I mean, they got no pressure, and that Georgia does have a good front seven, like the best in the nation, but Alabama's O-line just shut them down. Bryce Young had all day. He had no problems.
Close to Young.
They were running slant and goes, hitch and goes, like it was 3rd and 12 every play. They were just doing it because they knew at the time, like, hey, we can let our receivers get open. We don't have to get these quick throws or roll them out. They had all day.
Matt said 99 on Georgia is overrated.
Jordan Davis, dude's huge. Like, he makes the number 99 look very small. He's huge. His problem is just that he gets tired very quickly. He's in 2 plays. He's out the rest of the series.
You know what? I feel his pain. I get tired very quickly as well. That's what happens to us big men.
He fills gaps. It's his job. He's not supposed to get sacks. He's supposed to fill the run holes.
A Vita Vea type, would you say?
Yeah. He just, he clogs up the lanes. You're not going to run it up the middle. That's what he does.
But, hey, we will find out. We will find out what happens in this college football playoff. I hate that it's so late, though. Like, isn't it like December 31st?
Yeah.
That's why is there so much time off? I don't understand.
Because they like to do all the bowl games.
Well, guess what? Right, I'm going to give you a hint too, right? You ready for this college football? You ready? The college bowl games are trash.
You don't like them?
You couldn't pay me to sit there and watch a college bowl game.
I love it. I love championship weekend. I love bowl games. They're the best, man.
Nah, bro, I'm good. I've never been better, honestly. Listen, if you're not ranked in the top 25, I don't want to see you in a bowl
I think
game.
they should expand the playoffs. I don't think it should just be.
No, they should expand the playoffs, absolutely. But like I'm saying, if you're not ranked in the top 25, I'm not trying to see you in a bowl game. I'm just saying. Listen,
I
no
like it.
offense.
I like it.
But, it's whatever. Georgia versus Alabama SEC championship rematch for the NCAA College Football Championship.
Alabama just kill them
See,
again.
Patrick, I agree with you. I think it's an SEC championship rematch. I said that. I don't like it. I think it's a little boring. But I think it's what
Alabama will absolutely destroy them again. They'd have no chance.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Except for that guy. Georgia has a monster tight end, though. His name's Bowers or something.
Oh, yeah. That man was going crazy.
He was killing them. He was a beast.
That game. No, he was going crazy. But we'll move on to the NFL. Obviously, we got to recap Week 13, of course. And listen, usually we break down a few games, but let's be honest with each other, people. There were not many good games this week. I pulled up the Sunday ticket yesterday, and I was like, Jesus, what am I going to sit here and watch? And even the game I thought was going to be good, which was the Chargers and Bengals, was terrible the entire first half. And then, the Bengals came back for a little bit. And then right when you really thought it was going to get good because the Bengals are driving, what happens? Joe Mixon with a big old fumble, brick hands, butterfingers. And there goes that game. So it was a tough day for the NFL. It was kind of boring. And Matt in the comments over here, Lions finally won a game. You know what? We'll get into our winners and losers section, Josh. But I'm just saying, I don't even think we deserve to put another winner in than the whole city of Detroit. I'm just saying. Yeah. Maybe Jared Goff, because I don't know if you saw it on Twitter.
I saw
a video of his girl celebrating that they won. That might be Jared Goff's biggest W of the career. I'm just saying.
What did you get being a quarterback in the NFL, man?
No disrespect or anything, Jared, but you're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well, guy. But let's get into the game that we are actually going to break down. That's the Ravens and the Steelers. And this game was good. This was a very good one. Josh, why don't you just give me your overall thoughts on the game here, brother?
Yeah, this was a game where, if you're just box score watching, you're not actually watching the game. It did not look like a great game at all. As low scoring for most of the game, nothing really happening. But it was a rivalry game. Those games are always going to be tough to put points on the board, and that's exactly what this was. The Steelers, I thought Najee Harris played the best game out of anyone on that team, and I thought they all rallied behind, because obviously the news that came out this weekend is that people around Big Ben are saying this is his last year for him. So, but I also feel like that's just
what did I say last week? Did I say that it was time for Old Yeller to be,
Yeah, you said he'd get murdered, but that's
well. Listen, I didn't. Listen, you took it that far. No. I didn't mean it like that.
No, but I think the team really rallied behind that. They're kind of like, damn, if this is really Big Ben's last year, we kind of got to play a lot better, and they did. And the big thing about this game is obviously that 2-point conversion. I hate that. I get it. You want to win it. I get you want to win it right there. The Bills did it earlier in the year against the Titans. Take overtime. Give yourself a better chance than just this play. It's just a bad idea. Especially, I get it if you have kicker problems. You have Justin Tucker. It's not like, oh, he might miss it. No, he's gonna make the extra point. It's Justin Tucker. And I get people are trying to blame Lamar for the throw. It was a little wide, but that's Mark Andrews. Usually when he gets his hand on the ball, he's going to catch it. So I feel like he kind of felt like he didn't have to put it on the money there, kind of could get it out quick and loft it. But he lofted it a little bit too far, and that's kind of his biggest flaw is some of those throws you feel like he should just easily be able to make. He has a tough time.
Usually his flaw, you know what I mean?
No, it's just those simple throws that you try to not to overthink, and he overthought it, and it didn't work. So next time, that's 0-2 for teams that have tried that this year. The Bills lost and the Ravens lost. Just stop. It's not going to work.
Josh, all I'm asking is that how do we feel about my Lamar Jackson has peaked comment that I've repeatedly made? It's not looking awful now, is it? Don't lie to me.
Because they were the 1 seed before this game strictly because of Lamar Jackson.
All right. But listen,
strictly because of
listen. Let's read some numbers though, right?
We can read the numbers. I'm talking about that thing. What we both like using though? What we both like using?
I'm a big eye guy. I know.
Yeah. So he's not
Listen,
going
I
downhill,
understand
and
the
you know
team
he's
is
still
only
looking
relevant
better.
because of him. I do know that. I will gladly admit that. But for the peaked part of it, 16 touchdowns to 13 interceptions.
Ugly numbers, bad numbers right there.
30 tied for 31st in the NFL for interceptions. 31st.
Very bad.
16th in passing touchdowns, 13th in yards, 2,865. He's 16th in QBR.
But then you look at his rushing numbers, because when it's a dual threat guy, it's not all about the passing.
Listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. Obviously, he's had. Actually, these are just recent games, not all of his games. Hold on.
His big issue is ball security. I think that's his main thing.
Oh, yeah.
His main thing.
His ball
Taking
security
care of the ball.
questionable at best. He has 131 rushing attempts for 762 yards.
He's going to be 1K this year. Like, he might be at 1,000 yards this year.
Oh, no, I don't think it's a might. I think he will be.
Yeah, like that's – I mean, when your quarterback's doing that, obviously his passing numbers aren't where anyone wants them to be right now, because that's the one thing you're really looking for is for him to really start popping off as a passer. But, he's still very young. He's obviously never going to get – he doesn't get hit. I feel like that's the big thing people forget. They're like, he's not going to be able to run the ball forever. He doesn't take big hits. He gets down, he slides, he gets out of bounds.
One.
But he doesn't get hit. Like we say that, but I have not seen Lamar take a big hit in his career.
No, I haven't either. Like I said, but it still scares me because I really do think all it takes is one. I mean,
one
with
RG3.
That's one ACL and your career's done.
That is true, but I mean, obviously he's not improving so far this year. But still, I mean, the fact that the Ravens were the 1 seed when their entire backfield tore their ACLs, Marcus Peters tore his ACL. Now Marlon Humphrey's out. Yep. So, I mean, they've got injury problems, and he's been keeping them alive. Him and Mark Andrews have been keeping them alive with a rotating backfield of the 2015's top 5 running backs. So they're in a tough spot, but he's keeping them alive.
Yeah, it was an interesting game, to say the least. You know what, Josh? You know what the worst part about it is? I can never remember, who I pick for our pick segment each week or whatever. So I went back and watched. So I went back and watched the segment right during Sunday, and I'm listening to it. And what do I say? Watch, there's going to be some stupid upset, like the Steelers are going to beat the Ravens, and I was right. But did I pick it? Absolutely not, because I'm gutless, clearly. But I mean, of course it happens. It's just unbelievable.
It's the way it goes, man.
Yeah, it is just the way it goes. And then I feel like the questions that come out of this is, are the Ravens good enough to really make that playoff run? And I can't see it.
Yeah, they're not healthy enough.
I don't think they have the pieces on offense, and they've lost a lot of defensive pieces as well. I mean, if this was a fully healthy team, even with Lamar playing this way, I would still probably say maybe. But this is not a healthy team, and Lamar's not playing, exceptionally well. Let's be honest. And I can't see them making that run. I think teams have kind of figured it out with Lamar, is that you just blitz them. I think that was the most the Steelers had blitzed all season last game, and it really all started with that loss on Thursday night against the Dolphins. They just absolutely corner blitzed him on every single play, it seemed like, and they got to him. And ever since then, that's what teams have been doing, and there's nothing they can really do about it. They're not keeping in running backs to help block. Mark Andrews should be chipping people. Lamar's holding the ball, and then when he doesn't hold the ball, it ends up getting intercepted. And then you go back and look at it. That interception he throws in the red zone ends up becoming a big part in the game, because what did they lose by? 1, right?
One.
So they lose by 1 point, and if Lamar doesn't throw the interception, now listen, it's hindsight's 20/20, and of course, and well, maybe if Lamar doesn't throw the interception, they kick the field goal, whatever, and then they still technically win by 2. You obviously never know if this game is gonna, go out the way that it did with that happening. But live in the fantasy world where it does happen that way, they win the game. They would win the game. So listen, being in the red zone and not getting any points is the worst thing you can do. It doesn't matter if it's an interception, a fumble, if you get sacked out of field goal range. If you're in the red zone, you have to score. And it doesn't always have to be a touchdown. Obviously, is that what you want? Of course it is. But to not get any points is when you start beating yourself. And that's what happened with that interception. So I can't see them, making this playoff run. As we got Logan over here in the comments. Hell of a weekend, and Josh. I'm excited to see how the Bills pull the 1 seed from the Pats. Sorry, Big Mac, but I know I will be in the playoffs. Listen. Listen here, Logan. You ready for this? The Bills love passing the ball. And we're going to get to this game, too, because my boys are playing. We got to preview the game, of course. But listen. Hey, no, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to save everything for when we preview the game. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. Logan, you're allowed to have your thoughts. It's okay. But whatever. And then, Josh, also, do we really think this is Big Ben's last season? And listen, I am going to be very sad if Ben somehow plays his way into thinking that he can play for another season. Listen, bro, yeah, it's time to hang it up. I know you had a good game, but that's what we always say about the greats. The greats, when they get older, they can still have that great game. We saw Kobe on his last one. They can still have it. They have those moments, but they can't consistently do it. And Ben, you can't do it, my brother. It's time to.
What if he goes somewhere else? What if he leaves Pittsburgh? Philip Rivers.
Team would really want Ben, though?
New Orleans might be desperate right now. Who else needs a quarterback?
They got Jameis Winston coming back, though.
Yeah, but maybe you want Big Ben there just in case, I don't know. I hope he's done. I hope he's done, man. That arm is dead. His arm is dead.
No, his arm is wet noodle-ish. You know what I mean? It's not looking good out here. But, Josh, should we move on?
Yeah.
And listen, we have other topics, but Josh, to see if you're with me here. Game starts in 20 minutes. I say we preview the Monday night game now.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So with that being said, Logan, I can get into your comment now. We got the Bills and the Patriots tonight over there in Orchard up in Buffalo. And here's why the Pats are winning, right? You ready for this? What do the Bills like to do? They love passing the ball. Josh Allen, big arm quarterback. They got Stephon Diggs over there. Cole Beasley, a little shifty on the inside. Emmanuel Sanders, a low-key pickup that me and Josh have talked about. Dawson Knox coming out of his shell this year, playing well. But they can't run the ball. Now, let me tell you something. If you think you're going to throw the ball in a consistent 26-mile-per-hour wind and have success all night, I think you're wrong. Now, could I be wrong? Of course I could be. I saw Mr. Thomas Brady lead about a 24-3 comeback against the Broncos up there at Foxborough against Peyton Manning when the wind was howling. But this is only Josh Allen's, fourth year? So is he really used to that Buffalo weather already? I mean, he could be. He ain't no Tom Brady, of course. Nobody is. So the Bills can't run the ball. They're not very good at it. We've seen it. And Patriots defense is playing very well. Josh Allen had great success against the Pats last year. Now, our entire team decided to take a year off for COVID. So you got to take that into account as well. But I got to go with the Pats. And that's not even me being a homer. I think it's fair because 26-mile-per-hour winds, 48-mile-per-hour wind gusts on occasion. Imagine throwing a pass thinking it's right on point, a 48-mile-per-hour wind gust just says hell no. You could throw a pass right over the middle, and the next thing you know, it's out of bounds.
Yeah, so there's no leading anybody. Can't lead anybody.
No, you can't lead anybody unless you're throwing straight gas out here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't see this being a shootout or anything. I expect the Bills to try to do what they normally do, quickly realize it's not going to work, and then panic. I don't know if they're really going to be like, yeah, all right, we can't throw the ball. Let's run it through Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. I don't think that there's any situation that'll make them do that. So it's still going to be Josh Allen. We're going to see him try to throw it in that kind of wind because I think the Patriots, this is exactly what they kind of want. Mac Jones he's been smart all year, taking care of the ball. He doesn't take big risks, and he won't tonight. So they're going to be pounding the ball with Deontay, and it's going to be a boring game. But I do think that the Bills are going to have to try to throw the ball a lot late, and I think it's going to cause problems for them. So I think New England just winds up winning this just because right now it's just kind of in their favor. They're on fire. They're playing really well as an entire group, and this weather just kind of fits them perfectly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I went into my underdog fantasy before, which, like I said, you can use code Gen Z at sign up to get a double your deposit up to $100. But I think, and we saw this with the Colts, right? The Colts just ran the ball down the Bills' throat, and I think that's what the Patriots are going to do here. And I've heard people talk about it, since the here we go, Logan. Let's see here. Look, if the lame boys can put a clinic on the Saints and the Giants lose the Dolphins, then I see the Bills making some wild flea flickers for a last minute upset.
Hey, never know.
Hey, yeah, like Josh said, you never know. It's possible. Listen, I don't even technically it wouldn't even be an upset. The
The
Bills
Bills
are
are
the
the favorite.
favorite in this game. So listen, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think this works against everything. Like if this was in October or September, I'd be like, all right, Bills might win this game. But like I said, the Bills love to pass the ball. You can't really pass the ball in these conditions. And the Patriots are a very physical football team. We've seen that recently with the run game this entire season. And the last time the Bills faced a really physical football team was the Colts, and Jonathan Taylor had 5 touchdowns. So we're going to find out what the Bills can do. We're going to find out if they can make those adjustments. I certainly think it's possible, but I don't know. I'm liking our chances in this game. I really am. So that's the Monday night game. But we go back to our NFL topics. And Josh, we start off these topics with your boys. The Panthers fired Mr. Joe Brady. I remember just last year the hype was real. You got Matt Rule, Joe Brady. They were going to turn everything around, and the man's fired now. Well, I mean, what's going on, Josh? What are we doing?
Yeah, just classic scapegoat. Matt Rule trying to save his own ass. I mean, how you gonna be like, all right, obviously something's not working this year. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's Joe Brady's fault. Like he's the last person you could really blame right now. He didn't ask for Sam Darnold. He didn't spend $65 million on quarterbacks. He's just been calling the plays, and I think this is just Matt Rule trying to be like, yeah, we just need to shake things up on offense. Now, has Joe Brady done a good job this year? No. Has he transformed this offense into the crazy thing we kind of saw glimpses of last year? No. But we've had 3 different quarterbacks be in and out all year, so it's not exactly easy for him. When you spend 1 year with a quarterback, then you get a new quarterback for 6 games. Then for a couple of weeks, you got a new guy, and now Cam Newton's back. So it's not exactly been easy for him. And Christian McCaffrey playing only 7 games over these past 2 years has not been easy either. So I don't think it was fair. I do think it's if you're going to fire Joe Brady, get rid of Matt Rule too. I mean, he's not doing anything great either. And also, every time I've seen Panthers fans talk about it, they're like, but he turned around Baylor. Then why is Baylor better without him? If he turned them around, why are they now better? They just won the championship of the Pac-12. Like, why are they better? Like, not Pac-12, but it is what it is. We're in shambles anyway. I don't get if you're going to why fire him right now? Like, why not just let him ride out the year? If you're not going to fire everybody, then why just fire the offensive coordinator? It makes no sense. I think it's just Matt Rule trying to save his job, trying to save his own ass. And I hope it doesn't work. I hope by the end of the year, they're all gone. I hope we just go out and get somebody else, man. If we're going to give up on Joe Brady after 2 years, you can't sit here and give Matt Rule another one because he handpicked Joe Brady. So we'll see where it goes. But, yeah, didn't even play on Sunday and still took an L. Classic Panthers.
And just some questions here in the color cast. Joe Brady firing surprising to me, but I get it with the struggles. And then you think he finds another NFL job or back to college? I think he goes back to college.
He's not. He was taking head coaching interviews last year. He's not even going to get a college head coaching job. Not after this. Not after getting fired.
You think he gets a college head coaching job?
No, he's getting an OC job. No one's going to give him the keys to the kingdom if he couldn't even do a good job calling plays here. Right now, it looks like that year with Joe Burrow and all them was a fluke. I think he's still good enough to. I think this just really hurts his chances because if you get fired, and it wasn't even reported as parting ways. It was fired. Like, usually if you see parting ways, you're like, all right, he didn't want to be there. They didn't want him. They parted ways. It just said he was fired. So, I mean, I don't know. I could see a team taking a chance on him, but I think he's going to also prefer going back to OC. I don't think he really wants right now to be a head coach.
I mean, I don't know what college positions are up for grabs right now. I know all the big
they're all
ones.
kind of filled right now.
I was going to say, I know all the big ones kind of got filled with, LSU's filled, and obviously USC got filled. Oklahoma, Miami got filled today, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame is filled. So I don't know where he would go. I mean, obviously you could go to a lesser school that I'm sure would say, "Hey, look, we hired a former NFL coach and somebody who led a team to a national championship." I don't know. It's weird to try and find a job, in my opinion, after you get fired in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Like if you're fired mid-season, that's kind of like the you weren't doing your job type of situation. And we do look at it as a scapegoat because that's what he is. I mean, that's what he's being,
it's so
built
obvious
up as.
It couldn't be more obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when the Giants fired Jason Garrett.
Yeah,
like listen, the offense was bad, absolutely, but you think Jason Garrett was really the problem with the Giants? Ever since they fired him, they haven't done anything anyway.
Yeah.
So Saban did horrible when he was the head coach for the Dolphins. Look at him
That's
now.
what I'm saying. And Saban didn't take a big place either. I'm pretty sure he went to Tulsa when he went back to college, and then eventually went to LSU, and then eventually got to Alabama. So I feel like Joe Brady's going to be like, all right, I tried going home run, tried going to be an offensive guru to NFL head coach. Let me go back to being an OC, get my rep up, and then go get another head coaching job. Because I don't think there's any ones that are worth a long-term deal that he'd be interested in. Because like you said, all the schools are taken. All the jobs this year have been filled. So wait till next year when another coach gets canned in a program you think you can succeed at, then go take that one.
See, here's the thing with him being fired as the OC as well. Like we said, we already know it's a scapegoat situation, but like I hate when people don't look at the circumstances either. Like McCaffrey has been hurt basically all year. You trade for Sam Darnold, he's terrible, and then gets hurt. You have PJ Walker and then Cam Newton, his first game.
4 QBs in 2 years, man. I mean, it's crazy. 4 different QBs he's playing.
Yeah, before that you had Teddy Bridgewater. Like, what are you really supposed to do? Oh, look at that. The Gators need a coach.
They did just fire their guy. But I was thinking, because one of their coaches just went to Miami to go. So, I mean, Florida is, if they offer him. But then again, I don't think that they're going to go after Joe Brady. I don't think he's a guy they go after. I think maybe they just – I don't know. I forgot they don't have a coach. I'd love Joe Brady at Florida. That'd be a good fit.
Look at my man George over here in the Colorcast comment saying, I'm on a flight to Puerto Rico and I'm on Colorcast. Hey. First of all, that's dedication. Second of all, been to Puerto Rico twice.
Really?
Fantastic.
Nice.
I mean, I didn't get to explore much because, I went on cruises there. We go on a cruise, you're only there for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. You go to San Juan, you hit up Senor Frogs. Let me tell you something. That is an experience. I'm just saying. So you have listen, George. You stay safe over there. Why don't you bring back a nice little shot glass or something? I collect them. Barely.
Souvenir.
Yeah. Bring back a little souvenir, George. Oh, don't worry. I'll give you the address. It's fine. But we move on to Odell, Mr. Odell. I believe he scored 2 touchdowns last game? Sunday?
First time back-to-back games with a touchdown since 2019.
That's unbelievable. Look at that. I got you. Yo, you see, George? Legendary. What a guy. And, just why is he producing in LA and he couldn't in Cleveland? I think it's pretty simple. You went from Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski, who, listen, I believe he was the coach of the year last year. So no slouch over there. But you go from Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. And we saw it a couple off seasons ago. Sean McVay, if you were ever in the same room as him and you exchanged oxygen somehow, you were allowed to get a head coaching job or an assistant job. And then we're going to sit here and lie and act like Matt Stafford isn't a big old upgrade over Baker Mayfield. So I think that's the reason he's really, doing well so far. I mean, obviously that first game against the Packers, he didn't do anything. But, I mean, he had no practice time, basically. They had the bye week. They come back. No. The first game
that was against the Packers, and it wasn't after a bye week, I think.
No, the Packer game was after a bye.
So they signed him like right before the game, though.
They played a game before the Packer game. I don't know who it was against. Damn, I think they lost too. Yeah, because they played a game with him. They had the bye week. and then they came back against the Packers, and he still didn't play well, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" Because I remember I picked the Rams because they were coming off a bye, and then this week I just don't remember who they played.
How many weeks ago was it?
This would be 3 weeks ago, I believe.
So I believe this was their bye week.
Because they had a bye. They played the Packers. Who'd they play before?
Before the bye?
Yeah. Before the bye.
Tennessee? Did they get beat by Tennessee?
Yes. They got smoked by Tennessee. That was Odell's first game, but he only played like 15 plays.
Yeah.
Then they had the bye. Everybody thought he was going to come out the next game and be Odell of old. They didn't do anything against the Packers. And then this game. And he's played pretty well. Obviously, in that game, 2 touchdowns, like I said. And listen, he's playing with Matt Stafford, Sean McVay. And here's the thing that I really look at, right? We all love Jarvis Landry, but he's not a number 1 wide receiver.
Not anymore, man. Not anymore.
He is not a number 1 wide receiver, and now Odell is playing. So obviously Odell probably got most of the attention over there. Now Odell's playing with Cooper Kupp, who already has 350 catches, 8,000 yards and 26 touchdowns this year. So he's obviously not the number 1. Cooper Kupp is getting the attention, and that leaves the ability for Odell to, do what he does, be shifty in the open field, make some catches over the top and everything like that. So that's why I think he's having more success. I think mostly it's because he's just not being looked at as much. I mean, like I said, you go with the Rams, and it's Cooper Kupp, and then you have to worry about the run game as well. And then obviously Sean McVay is able to scheme up plays to get him open. So I think just the coaching and him not being the number 1 option and having somebody that's that good with what Cooper Kupp is giving him a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, I agree with most of that. I just really think it comes down to how the offenses are using them. Like you're saying about the Cooper Kupp attention, I feel like Cleveland could have done something similar with how much teams focus on the run against Cleveland. I think they could have taken advantage of that. I just felt like they already assumed that Odell was going to get doubled and get all this attention, but they never really established him as a threat in Cleveland, so teams weren't doing that. And they just kind of looked away from him because they're like, he's going to be covered, instead of kind of designing things for him to get going, because you can't just be paying that man all the money and be like, he's going to be taking attention so other things will open up. Now you got to use him. And I'm kind of seeing that with the Rams. They're using him in certain situations. They're not going to go after him as the number 1 because that's Cooper Kupp, but they're using him as he should be used, which is a deep threat, a guy that can make plays. We saw it this weekend with the little fade route in the red zone for the touchdown. We saw it the week against Packers. He had that stop and go route, kind of a little bit of a fade. They're just kind of using him a lot better. I don't think it was so much that Cleveland couldn't do what they're doing because they didn't have the weapons like that. I just don't think Cleveland really tried to. And I feel like the Rams is a good spot for him. I really wanted him to go to Green Bay, but the Rams are using him really well. We'll see what he'll do this offseason because he's only on a deal for the rest of the year. But I think Odell is still very good. It's just finding the right way to use him, and the Rams are doing that so far.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he does, after this year as well. Obviously, I think it's the first time he'll be a free agent in his career, so we'll find out what Odell cares for. Is he going to chase more money? Is he going to go to another winning situation, like the Rams potentially? I don't know. It's going to be fun. I wonder if, what happens with the way that this year plays out, if, obviously the Patriots have had interest in him for a while. So what, if they make a deep playoff run, does he now say, okay, I'll go to you guys. Maybe I'll, put you guys over the top. Does he look at, if the Rams lose to the Packers in the playoffs, maybe does he say, okay, I made the wrong decision, I guess. Let me go sign with them. So it could be fun. It's going to be interesting to see.
Imagine him on the Chargers.
Oh,
that'd be beautiful.
Keenan Allen, Odell, Mike Williams,
Herbert.
What a time that would be. Speaking of good times, Tom Brady's having a great time over there in Tampa Bay. Another big game, over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, threw that interception to end the half. But it's getting to that time if he's locking up the MVP, and I don't want to say locked up. I don't want to say that yet. I think if Josh Allen can continue, if Josh Allen can play good the rest of the way, I think you could give it to him, especially because, he has the rushing stuff as well. Obviously, Brady isn't out here, getting many yards on the feet, but even though he did have a nice 11-yard run earlier on in the year, of course, showing off the wheels. But if Josh Allen can continue to play well, he has the rushing stats as well. If Aaron Rodgers continues to play the way he will, I think that's the 3-person race though. Kyler missed too many games. Dak's fallen off. Who else? Obviously, you can't give it to Derrick Henry because I think listen. Let me tell you something. I think Derrick Henry could have won the award this year if he doesn't get hurt.
He's still like third rushing yards. That's crazy.
It is, but I would say though, I'd still look out for Jonathan Taylor too. Did he have like 146 rushing yards this week? I believe he had.
They could not score the ball though until the second half. It pissed me off.
No, yeah, it was very weird. I think it was like, what was it, like 10-0, 7-0 going into halftime?
It was like 7-0. I was like, what?
Unbelievable. But hey, I don't think he's locked it up, but I still think he is leading. I believe he's first in rush. No, I said rush yards. Jesus, pass yards, passing touchdowns, passing attempts. All these passing stats, and obviously that's what your quarterback is there to do. So not locked up, but I think definitely there.
I agree. I don't think it's locked up, but I think it's Brady's to lose. Like, I don't think even if Josh Allen and Rodgers have really good ends of the year, I still think Brady wins it unless he starts playing bad. Like, I just think he's been more consistent than anyone in the league. I saw a stat, like he has more touchdowns than like 3/4 of the league, which is just insane. And yeah, he hasn't missed a game. The Bucs are a top seed. So I think it's his to lose. I wouldn't say it's locked up because obviously, the COVID could happen. He could miss a couple games. You never know what could happen. So even if Jonathan Taylor, yeah, but Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers, even if they have great ends of the year, I still think Brady wins it if he just keeps playing well. I don't think but it's still tough to say it's locked up because, it's just a weird year. Anything could happen, so we don't really know yet. But yeah, I think it's just his to lose. I think he's kind of extended his lead pretty big with this past week, especially with Josh Allen having a couple rough weeks.
A 44-year-old MVP.
Only one man could do it.
What a time. What a time. And listen, people, we're going to try something new here, right? We've talked all this sports, but we're going to take a break. We're gonna take a break from the sports and get into some other stuff. We're trying a little new segment here. So, of course, you got to let us know if you like it as well, because we're here for the people. But, Josh, we're Marvel people out here. So, how have you thought that Hawkeye has gone so far? 3 episodes in. I got some pretty strong points about it. I do.
I didn't. Honestly, I thought it was going to suck before it came out. I just didn't enjoy the trailer too much, but now that I've been watching it, I like how it's kind of a break from all the multiverse crazy stuff happening in Loki and in WandaVision, with everything. But I like it so far. I really like it. I just hate, they just never give Hawkeye a break. He's always this terrible dad who's never around for his kids, and I hate it. Like, let the man be happy. Like, just let him go home to be with his family. But I love it so far. This last episode had a lot of, cool little things in it, introducing a couple new characters and a couple little Easter eggs. Kingpin's probably going to be in it now, which is really, really cool. He showed his hand, and then Black Widow's sister, she's going to be in it at some point, and it kind of looked like she could possibly be in this next episode. But yeah, I really like it so far. I'm loving it.
See, I'm on the complete opposite side. I'm terribly bored by it so far. See, I'm on the complete opposite side. I thought it was going to be very good going into it, and now that I watched
that was your mistake.
Listen. I don't know if it's because there's not enough action, or I don't know.
You're used because you watched Loki, you watched WandaVision, you saw all that awesome stuff.
And that's the thing. It's not even the multiverse stuff for me, because I agree with you. Like, I can use a break from it too. Like, I don't need all of a sudden Hawkeye becoming eagle eye and
Yeah.
using wooden bow and arrows instead of a normal one or a crossbow somehow. But listen, I don't know. I feel like it's so slow. Like the first
They
two
said
episodes.
before it came out, it's not. It's just a break. Like that's what they called it. Just like a little Christmas break. That's all they called it.
It's a break, all right.
It is boring. It's slow. It's very
They've had some nice sequences. The sequence on the bridge that was
slow.
nice, and getting out of the hostage situation that they were in was
Yeah.
nice. I don't know. I'm just not I'm not loving it. I'm of course still gonna watch it because I mean, what else am I gonna do?
I'm just
But
tired of them doing this man dirty all the time. Like the first time we see him, he like has to leave his kids and everything, and then in Endgame, his kids disappear, and then he gets them back, and we're like, nope, sorry, you're gone again. I'm like, just at the end of it, just let him go home, leave him alone. All right, just leave him alone.
facts, you listen. It's happening in New York. Where's my man Spider-Man at?
That's what I'm saying. Like, where are all these guys at? Where get him some help? You're always
Like,
showing
like
characters in other
you
shows.
telling me that Hawkeye can't pick up the phone real quick? Hey, listen, Christmas, you guys don't got no kids.
Yeah, I got a whole family,
I
man.
got a whole fam. Like, can I enjoy some time?
Yeah.
I guess not. They said no. They said no. All right, we're back into it. We will get back into it. And Josh, we're going to go with our, players of the week type situation. So, who is your quarterback of the week?
Man, we haven't seen in a while.
I know who you're going
The
with
whole
then.
world gave up on for a little bit, but he's back. The bandana's back. The stash is back. Minshew mania is back. Gardner Minshew is my quarterback of the week. 20 of 25, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saw the video of him and his dad after the game too.
Yeah.
He loved that. Yeah, just really happy for him, man. I mean, he's been decent. He's played well. It's just Trevor Lawrence came to town, and then now he's in Philly, where I think it's a good spot for him. He played really well. So yeah, I'm quarterback of the week.
I'm looking through some people here. I had, you could obviously go with Brady, 368, 4 touchdowns and interception. You can go with my man Justin Herbert, 317, 3 touchdowns and interception. But you know what? I think. Oh, hold on. I just lost my part on the page. Listen, multitasking here with the color cast, everything going on. I'm a busy man out here. But I'm going to go with another man that we haven't seen in a while and give it to, if I can find it. Hold on. Here we go. Mr. Kyler Murray.
He did
Let me
ball out.
see. Let me get Kyler Murray with a little, let's see. He only had 123 yards passing, but 4 total touchdowns. 4.
Yeah, 4 of them.
Looking like Jonathan Taylor out here. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So Kyler Murray, we haven't seen you a couple weeks, or not even a few weeks. It's good to have you back, brother. We missed you. The NFL is a better place with you in it. Now, Josh, who is your player of the week?
I actually have 53 of them. It's the
53.
entire Detroit Lions roster. They're
You're
all
right.
players of the week. And the reason why it's not just like 22 is because it takes all of us, Connie. It's not a 22-man job. It's a 53-man job. And they got it done, came together, got the win, so they all deserve player of the week.
You know what? That's a beautiful story right there, but I'll give it to one specific player. How about this on the Lions then? Let's give it to Mr. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game-winning touchdown he catches.
He had like 90
I believe
yards. He was going crazy.
Yeah, what do you have? Like 9 catches, I believe, like 90-something yards, I want to say. 96, I feel like it was. But yeah, my man went crazy. Lions got their win. And it's a beautiful time over there in Michigan. Michigan wins. The Lions win. I mean, this might be the first time in history that's happened with the way it's recently been going.
Yeah.
So, Josh, it's now time for, of course, one of our favorite segments on the show. And that would be, if I can find the banner over here, Together We Pray. Josh, we have anybody to add to the prayer circle?
Yeah, I think we have to add Jalen Hurts. His job is
Yeah.
in danger. His job is in danger. I feel like we shouldn't have gave him as many props. I feel bad about it because we probably are the reason the tide turns. Turn tables. But I think we need to say a prayer for him because now Minshew Mania showed up. He looks like a really good fit in that offense. So I think this one you say a prayer because Jalen Hurts is a very good player, but he's having a tough time, I bet.
I can't disagree with you. I don't think I have anybody. But that is a very good one. We should have kept a list of everybody we had on.
I'll go back and look at him.
That's a lot of work.
He's got Skip.
You're right. You're right. And then our next one, another one of our favorites out here, that would be put some respect on my name. And Josh, this is going to sound a little weird, but I'm going to give it to Jared Goff.
Yeah, yeah.
And listen, we talk a lot of smack about it, rightfully so. He's not the greatest. And listen, did the defense and running game probably carry him to that Super Bowl? Probably. But hey, this is a man who got to a Super Bowl, played well enough to get a big contract, and even in Detroit, he is keeping them not relevant because they're 1-10, but they're a tough team to play.
They could easily be, or they could easily have 5 wins. That's not something crazy. A couple things have gone against. I mean, the longest field goal of all time. Their kicker dies in the middle of his routine of the kick and just shakes it underneath the goalpost. They've had a couple tough ones, so they're a lot better than their record shows for sure.
Listen, Logan, I don't know what the hatred is for my Pats, but I hope that prayer doesn't come true, brother. Why don't you pick something else there, guy? But yeah, I mean, listen, the Lions not good, 1-10, obviously, 1-10-1. But you look at them compared to some teams that we also know are bad, like the Texans and the Jets and the Giants. They don't get blown out.
No,
if you look at their game, they really don't get blown out. There's not really too many losses where you're like, oh my god, they are awful.
Yeah,
they have a lot of close one possession games. So I'm going to put some respect on Jared Goff. He's he's the man at the head of the ship, and he's keeping them afloat barely. I mean, their noses are above the water. Not even the mouth, so they're nose breathers out here. But listen, you can't have everything in life.
I like that one, especially because that game-winning drive really covered up from Jared Goff trying to throw the game away. Man.
Oh my god!
The pick followed by the sack fumble, man. He was selling so hard before that game winner. He needed that.
And then I put respect on his name too because I didn't think he could pull like that. His girl. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm going with the man. 5 straight wins for the Dolphins. I'm going with Tua. I think.
Okay, I like this too.
I think he deserves some respect. Because I saw something earlier, and they were showing Tua's 16 first career starts and Kyler's 16 first career starts. Tua's looked as good, if not better, than Kyler's first 16 games. And, and there's a huge difference. Kyler is his franchise guy, and Tua has to hear about Deshaun Watson every week. So it's kind of interesting how that's working out. But he's doing everything he can to be like, I can be a franchise quarterback. And I think his connection with Waddle, obviously they played together at Bama. They're so good together. But also, screw Jalen Waddle. You had 9 catches, 90 yards. You were on my anytime touchdown parlay. You're the only one that didn't hit. Cost me $80. So, thanks for catching nine balls and not scoring on a single one. But Tua deserves some respect. He's playing as good as I thought he's playing better. I doubted Tua the whole time coming into the draft all last year, but he's earning my respect. So put some respect on.
Now we go to our winners and our losers of the week. Now listen, Josh, I'm just going to throw it out there, petition that we can only say the Lions for winners this week. I mean, listen, I know that there's obviously some other winners, but I feel like Lions fans, the state of Michigan are the only people that's allowed to be on the winner list this week.
All right, they're all the winners, but I do have a guy who won. Can it be like a separate?
Yeah.
This is, I think Jameis won. Taysom sucks, so they're gonna take care of Jameis.
That's a great point you're making.
Sucks. So Jameis is a winner. He's
got Josh, that might be that might be one of your top 5 points ever made in the show.
Yeah, I mean my winners and losers. That's usually where you say that. So I think I should put that effort into other categories because I guess this is my strong suit.
You might have to take over the segment. I might just sit this one out. And then losers, I mean, the Vikings. How do you lose to
Dude,
a?
I feel so bad for Vikings fans, man.
How do you lose to a 0-10 and 0-10 one team at the time? I mean, I think we're back. The state of New York back to being losers, as the Giants and the Jets are just terrible at football. Even the Islanders, who were supposed to be Stanley Cup, favorites this year, terrible. Although our Rangers, baby, playing good. You know what? I'm gonna make it topical. Ready? Losers for this week are pass catchers in this game that we're about to watch. Because there ain't no way that somebody's
fantasy
going
owners,
crazy.
people who need Stephon Diggs to have a bunch of points to win their fantasy this week.
Josh, I'm up 3 points, and this
Oh
kid has
no, this
Stephon
is
Diggs
you.
left.
So this is your opponent.
I'm up 3 points. The kid has Stephon Diggs left, and I'm just praying that they can't get him the ball.
3 points though. 3 points.
Listen, I don't think it's gonna happen, but a boy can dream.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. My losers. Matt Rule, big fat stinking loser.
Yeah,
saving his own ass. Scott Fitterer, Panthers GM. Congrats, you can make a lot of trades. It looks so cool. You made 6 trades on draft days. You went and got Sam Darnold. You're not afraid. Well, we suck, so maybe calm down. Maybe don't be so bold. David Tepper, our owner. I get it. You have all this money. You want to spend it, and we win, but we're not winning. So stop spending it in places that's not working, man. You already spent $65 million in 2 years, and it didn't work. You're getting none of that money back. So just be a little patient here, and make the right moves when they're available. Those are my 3 losers: Panthers head coach, Panthers GM, and Panthers owner. All 3 losers.
Well, with that being said, we're going to find out who wins and loses next week because it's our Week 14 pick segment. But of course, before we go into the pick segment, we got to find out how we did in Week 13. So, Josh, why don't you let the people know how we did in Week 13?
Connie, you had a tough one, man.
I
swept in the disagreements. I swept.
No, you didn't.
Okay, let me look because I write it down every week. We disagreed on New York and Miami.
Okay, yes, I lost that one.
We disagreed on the Chargers and Cincy.
I picked the Chargers.
No, you picked Cincy. You last minute switched to Cincy.
No, I last minute switched it to the Chargers. You had Cincy.
No, because I have it written right here. Switch.
Gosh, I literally went back and watched it.
Okay, so then I wrote it wrong. Give me a second.
I'm not. Listen, you can go back and watch it as well. I swear to God.
Okay, but then I'd still beat you in San Francisco and Seattle.
No, because I picked Seattle.
Fuck, they did lose.
Come on, Josh.
Okay, so we tied this week. Both went 9-6. So now it is. No, you're up 1. I got to do this all over again.
Yeah, I didn't say
anything. I got to do this all over again.
I'm usually wrong.
Got to do this all over again. So yeah, I'm 8-5. You're 9-6. I think that's math, right? That's how math works. No, I'd be 8-7. I wouldn't be 8-5 because that's not enough. Is that enough games?
Josh, I'm not very good at math.
Yeah, 8-7. I'm pretty sure it's 8-7. No, I don't know. Okay, you cut the game. You split in the games we disagreed on. You won 2, I won 1, so that cuts it to 1.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yep, cuts it to 1. But I can't give you the overall records right now because that's math. And
that's fine. That's fine.
I can't. It's like 104 and 80 to 103 and 80 or something. He's down 1.
I was
feeling really good coming into this. I thought I went 3-0. I thought I swept.
Oh no!
It turns out I lost.
I went back and I watched it just to make sure. And it's funny. I almost texted you during the Charger Bengal game. I was like, "Wow, I can't believe I fixed it."
I completely thought I thought the switch was to the Bengals.
No, I had.
And then the whole.
Me and you agreed on Bengals, and then I went back. Like it was literally our last pick of the segment. I was like, "Damn, I really want to fix I really want to change that game. You're like, do it. And I picked the Chargers.
Damn, and I don't know why I thought all day I thought the Niners won. I don't know why I thought they won.
Probably because they should have.
They really should have. They really should have.
Bro, this man Gerald Everett should be cut immediately.
Jeez, how do you not only drop that, but you put it back in the air?
Kick it in the air, cause an interception, and then at the goal line, fumbles.
Yeah, tough. Yeah,
All right.
One game difference.
Let's see if I can take the lead, baby. We will find out. We started off Thursday Night Football. Steelers at the Vikings. Josh, who you have?
Okay, of course.
No, you want me to pick first?
Yes, I would like.
I will go with the Steelers.
I'll go with the Steelers too.
Damn.
I was gonna go Vikings, but I'm glad you went first.
Come on.
I'm not losing on this bullshit game because the Vikings are ass and Big Ben is ass, so I'm not losing on this game.
This man just said he was going Vikings the whole time. I picked the Steelers. He goes to the Steelers.
Because I thought you were gonna go Vikings. If I picked first, I'd have been like, he's probably leaning Vikings, so I'll go Vikings. But you were leaning Steelers, so.
I'm also picking the Steelers because Adam Thielen out for this game. Dalvin Cook also out for the game. Ooh, as the Patriots and Bills have officially kicked off, looks like the Bill. Oh my God, bro! The Bills kicker just on the kickoff they had to hold the ball obviously because of the wind, and this man still kicked it out of the field. Like he kicked it into like the second row. Interesting development. We got the Ravens at the Browns. This is another tough one. Oh man, Josh, why don't you go first on this one then?
Are there running backs back yet? Are Chubb and Hunt back?
I think so.
Give me the Ravens.
All right, give me the Browns then. I will take the Browns in this one at home, coming off a bye.
This is a bad week. Can already feel it, of course.
I don't know. I'm not very confident in this game. Not with Baker
Mayfield. It was the whole score messed up. Now I don't feel confident about that pick. It's just things are not shaping up well here for me. They're just not.
Next up, we got the Jags and the Titans. I think we're both going to pick the Titans here.
Yeah.
Now we got the Raiders at the Chiefs. As I get distracted because, of course, I'm trying to watch this game at the same time. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yep, they're back.
Yes, they are. Barely. Saints at the Jets. Jets aren't even a football team, so I'll go with the Saints.
Is Taysom Hill starting again?
Yeah, he is.
He might throw the game, bro, but I'll go with the Saints because I don't trust the Jets.
Then we have the Cowgirls at the Washington football team. And boy, let me tell you, this game sounds very easy, but the way things have been going, it's not.
It's a trap game.
This is a trap game. I don't know which way the trap goes, though.
It's either you're like, the Cowboys are really good and they should win this, and Washington does exactly what they should do, which is win again. But then if you're like, Washington's really good, they're on a streak right now, they should win it. But then the Cowboys, it's a trap. It's a trap. Everywhere you go, it's a trap.
Good, so you can pick first.
Well, I'll go with Washington.
You're going with Washington.
Riverboat Ron, currently in the wild card. They won it. Heineke. Yep.
Oh, man. You know what? Fine. I'll go with Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with Dallas. As the Patriot game has started, so we got some comments over here. Pat's all day. About to be a crazy game. Mac Daddy going to show Bills Mafia who he is. Listen, we can hope so. That first drive was all right. They had a 3rd and 5, and then Mac Jones tried a pitch play out to Mr. Damian Harris, who kind of fumbled it. So definitely not looking good because now I guarantee Bill's going to bench him and probably ruin my underdog fantasy lineup. But whatever, it's fine. I'm not even mad about it. Falcons at your Panthers, Josh.
Panthers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Panthers too.
We're only 2.5 favorites over the goddamn Falcons.
I don't want this to be a game I lose.
Yeah, because it's very possible. Very possible.
I think that, low-key, I think the Falcons are going to win.
They probably are. Who's our play caller is our like assistant OC who hasn't done anything.
I don't know. Usually when you fire an offensive coordinator or a coach, they play good the next game, and then after
Right,
that is when they
right.
start playing bad again. But I mean,
We'll see. But no CMC, or we suck. Who cares?
yeah, but it's
Panthers
still
all
the
day.
Falcons.
We're gonna
You know
win.
what I
We're
mean?
gonna get it done. We're every time they put up a graphic that says "in the hunt," we're in there, and it pisses me off. Honestly, I'm like, we're not in the hunt, bro. We got the Bucks twice and the Bills. We're not in the hunt.
As the Bills come out first few plays trying to run the ball, stuffed. Love that for me. Next game, Josh, let's be real here. We're both going with the Seahawks. Texans aren't even good, and Tyrod Taylor's probably out now.
Yeah, definitely going Seahawks. They're in win now mode apparently. Pete Carroll signed Adrian Peterson. Win now.
Lions at the Broncos. Listen, I know the Lions just won. Cool story, bro. Tell it again because the Broncos are winning.
I so badly want to take Detroit.
Yo, well, you could. Logan's doing it. Look at this.
I so
Logan.
badly want to.
Okay. Josh Allen for the first pass attempt of the game, dropped by Dawson Knox.
I'm going Denver. I'm not going to risk it.
I don't blame you there at all. Giants at the Chargers. Can we skip past this as well?
Yep.
Chargers all the way, baby. This is a good game. I like this one. 49ers at the Bengals. Listen, the Bengals just lost pretty handedly, and I think they're a good team. And I'm going to sound like Colin Cowherd here because this is what he always says. Good teams that get embarrassed usually play well the next week, and it's at home. San Francisco got to go across the country. Their internal clock is going to be a little different. Give me the Bengals.
Some would say San Francisco is also a good team that just got embarrassed.
Yeah, but they didn't lose by like 20.
Who, that's the question. Who got more embarrassed, losing in that fashion as the 49ers or getting blown out as the Bengals? And also, who's the better team? Because it coexists. So it really comes down to, do I go with Fat Thumb Joe or Jimmy Garoppolo? Fat Pinky. It was Pinky. Give me the Bengals.
Okay. Now, this is the game of the week, in my opinion. I mean, pretty clearly, too, if you look at it. Maybe, Ravens, Browns, Cowboys, Washington could be fun games, too. But we got the Bills at the Buccaneers. I'm going with the Bucs because Brady has beaten the Bills, I think, the most out of any team in his career. And what's going to change now?
I really don't like this. I'm not having a good time.
I'm not even trying to convince you to take the Bills. I could also see the Bills winning because the Bucs pass defense is trash.
So currently, we have two disagreements. And I really don't like my chances in either of those. Even though I just made them less than 5 minutes ago.
I like your chances if you pick the Bucs in this one, though. Or the Bills.
See, I don't know if you mean that or not.
I swear to God,
I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I understand.
You switch to the Bills then if you love it so much.
No. See, I go with, listen, Brady's on the Bucs. I don't pick against the Bucs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Although my JV,
Josh Allen, you love Josh Allen.
This could decide the MVP in all seriousness, though.
If Josh Allen snaps tonight, this could be very important.
Say Josh Allen. All right, well, let's play hypothetical here. Ready? Just real quick. Wind is all crazy tonight, so Josh Allen doesn't do anything tonight, right? And then in this game, Bills win it. Brady throws for like 200, a touchdown, no interceptions, nothing good. But Josh Allen throws for like 430, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. What happens?
It gets closer, but I'm still taking Brady.
I don't blame you. I would too. I think I would too. He's leading the NFL in all the passing categories. Like, that's what your quarterback is supposed to do. Yeah. And then we rounded off with the Sunday night game. We got the Bears at the Packers. And I think it's pretty easy because I'm going with the Packers, and I assume you are too.
Yep. I don't like this week. That was a bad segment. I don't like this at all.
Matt said Packers all the way. I would have never guessed. You should see. I don't know if you had the game on, bro. The field goal posts are hitting the Millie Rock out here. I mean, it is windy over there in Buffalo. It is no joke. There's been one pass play on 2 possessions so far, I believe. So this is going to be interesting. But with that being said, people, I think we're out of here. You know, a nice show as we usually do. Make sure you check us out everywhere. And Josh, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Josh, hold on one second. I just saw they just updated it. Wind 25 to 35 miles per hour. Wind gusts 50 to 55.
Jesus, that just sounds like not fun football. Just not a good time.
There is literally like both offense and defense. Everybody's at the line of scrimmage. I literally don't even think there was a wide receiver on that play.
Smart football. That's smart football.
This is going to be a 3-0 game.
Most likely. The over was so low, I almost took it, but I was like, nah. Then I saw the weather.
Did you see the better? That's the over away from a 12-team parlay hitting.
Really?
Win $16,000 off a $2 bet.
Oh, man.
Or he could cash out for $6,000. I would have cashed out.
Oh, yeah, I'm cashing out.
Oh, my God. The minute I saw the weather, I would have said, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah. But, yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You want to tune in next Monday because Bug is going to be in the show. It's his birthday on Monday. It's his birthday, so I got to let him hang out.
All right. As for me, people, obviously me and Josh do this every Monday at 7 Eastern. A good time, as always. Appreciate all the people watching out there over on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Obviously listening on the Colorcast as well. Make sure you go follow me over there. Yeah, we're putting everything on Colorcast and the streams, and we're multifaceted out here, as I like to say. Anthony Conover _ for my personal Twitter, Gen Z Sports for the show. The hard count, me and my boys, like the Patriots punter just punted it into the wind, and it literally went to the 35-yard line. This is just not good. Tuesdays, me and my boy CJ do the hard count, talking everything football. Obviously, we'll break down this game as we're both Patriot fans. And then Thursday, backstop banter with me and my boy Michael, breaking down everything over there in the baseball world. So, with that being said, I appreciate everybody for watching as per usual, and we will catch you on the next episode.